Hello there, my friend. Come a little closer. I want to tell you a secret. My name is James Clerk Maxwell, and this story, well, it's about me, sure, but it's really about you and this incredible world we live in. Okay, ready? Just look around, wherever you are right now. My story is all around you, hiding where you'd least expect it. You see that phone? You know, the one in your pocket or maybe in your mom or dad's hand? My ideas are packed right inside there.
And how about the TV? Yup, every time you flip on your favorite show, you're actually using one of my big discoveries.
Okay, but this is the craziest part. My ideas are, get this, floating in the air, right now, all around you. It's what you call Wi-Fi. Pretty cool, huh?
So you're probably wondering, how can all this super modern stuff run on ideas from like 150 years ago? That's a great question. Come on, I'll tell you everything. Let me tell you my story.
You know, my whole big adventure started way back when I was a kid, just like you. And it all kicked off with one little question, a question I asked about everything.
This was my catchphrase, show me how it does. You'd probably say, show me how it does it. I just had to know how everything worked, you know? How does a key turn a lock? Where does a river go when it sinks into the earth? I was just so curious. Okay, here's a number for you. 14. That's it, just 14. Doesn't sound very old, does it? But for me, that age, wow, it was a huge deal. That's right, I was only 14 when I wrote my very first scientific paper. It was all about how to draw these cool oval shapes. And that just proves something really important. You're never, ever too young to be curious or to have an amazing idea. You just have to keep asking questions. To me, the whole universe was like this giant, awesome puzzle box. And I just knew that if you looked hard enough and used your imagination, you could figure out the solution to anything. Want to see a couple of my favorite puzzles I solved? Okay, check this out. For 200 years, scientists stared at the planet Saturn and its beautiful rings, completely stumped. They thought, what are those rings made of? See, if they were one solid piece, they'd shatter. And if they were liquid, they'd just turn into a bunch of wobbly blobs. It was this huge cosmic mystery.
Well, it took me 2 whole years of scribbling and thinking and just working really hard, but I finally cracked it. I figured out the rings weren't solid or liquid. Nope, they're actually made of zillions of tiny, separate little rocks and bits of ice, like a giant swarm of mini moons all flying around Saturn together. It took a lot of persistence, but man, when I figured it out, what a feeling.
All right, here's another puzzle I loved. Have you ever wondered how we get color in pictures? Well, I did. I came up with an idea that was kind of like a recipe. First, I took a picture of something through a red filter. Then, I took the exact same picture, but this time through a green filter. And then, you guessed it, one more time through a blue filter. Then came the magic part. I took those 3 pictures and shined them all together on the same screen. And ta-da! The world's very first color photograph. It was a picture of a colorful ribbon. And guess what? Every single color picture you see today, on your TV, on a phone, anywhere, it all started with that simple idea of mixing red, green, and blue light. But the biggest puzzle of all, my greatest adventure, was about something you can't even see. It was an idea about these secret, invisible waves and hidden connections that are everywhere. So back then, everybody thought electricity, like lightning, and magnetism, the thing that makes a compass work, were totally different, like apples and oranges, 2 separate forces that had nothing to do with each other. But I had this crazy idea. What if they weren't separate? What if they were actually 2 sides of the same coin? I imagined they were connected by this invisible field of energy that I called an electromagnetic field. I realized they could affect each other, kind of like dance partners. When one moves, the other one does too. And that thought led to the most amazing discovery of my life. I did the math to figure out how fast these invisible waves would travel, and I got this number. A number I'd seen before. It was the speed of light. It was a perfect match. And that could only mean one thing. Light itself is an electromagnetic wave. Whoa! All of a sudden, we knew that electricity, magnetism, and light were all connected. They're all part of the same big, incredible family. Now, back in my day, we didn't have any of the cool stuff you have. No TVs, no Wi-Fi, nothing like that. All I had were my ideas and my math. But I had a feeling that these ideas,
They were like a gift I was wrapping up for the future, a gift that I was sending straight to you, my friend.
So remember those invisible waves I was talking about? Well, that's what's carrying the signal for your radio, your TV, your cell phone, and your Wi-Fi. And that connection between electricity and magnetism, that's what makes electric motors spin in everything from toys to cars. And it's what helps create the power that lights up your home. All my old ideas, they're the things that make your world work today.
But you know what makes me the happiest? It's not just the inventions. It's that my ideas helped other scientists, even famous ones like Albert Einstein, to dream up their own amazing ideas. That's the best part of science, you see. It's all about sharing what you discover, so the next person can take that idea and build something even bigger and better.
And that brings this whole story right back to you, my friend. My entire journey, everything I ever discovered, it all started with one little question. Show me how it does. So now, it's your turn. What are you curious about? What puzzles in the world do you want to solve? Your big adventure is just getting started. So tell me, what will your question be?